I was walking down the street. It was the 1930s. Things were quite interesting, and I enjoyed myself quite a bit. I wasn't really the best person, however. I got into some shady things here and there with the mafia, since it was prohibition times.
And, well, things were going pretty well. I was an Italian mobster. I was a Japanese mobster. I was pretty close to the Don, too. Back in California, many Japanese immigrants migrated to California. And they weren't always treated the best, so we made sure those who weren't treated good got treated right. We weren't good guys by any means, but we had our own morals. As I was walking down the street, I was going to a meeting to meet the Don. But as I sat near the Don, we all began to drink and have fun. However,
As I continued to drink, suddenly I would start to pass out. It was almost like something was wrong. I had been selling some bootlegging off, behind the boss's back, but there's no way he could have found out about that, right? As suddenly I would wake up in a different place. I saw a puddle. As I would walk to it, I would look into it, and my skin was different. It was pink, and I was pure fire.
after seeing this, I fell to the ground, and I began to pant. This is impossible. I was shocked, hyperventilating. How is this possible? How am I like this? Where am I? I began to look around and scream until someone told me to shut up. As I looked at him, suddenly a man would walk up to me. He looked interesting. It was the radio demon. He wasn't gone for too long. In fact, he just arrived not too long ago into the same place I am. He smirked and said, "What do we have here? A newcomer."
Who are you? Alistair looked at me. You seem scared, but you are literally made out of fire, so I could see you're quite powerful. I could manipulate you into a deal, but that wouldn't be very gentlemanlike of me, would it? Besides, let me show you around. Alistair began to walk around and show me around the place. I was new to the Hazbin universe, and he showed me every inch, every crevice, and even his favorite town, the town where he enjoyed his quote-unquote favorite meal. I was disgusted with that, but this is the place I belong in. After all, I wasn't the best person, and I belong to be here. I sighed. So this is my home now. Alistair said, "Indeed, but don't worry, it's not too bad. At least I don't think it is." Then again, I might be a bit biased. Now run along before I decide to take your soul. Only kidding, for now. I sighed and walked off. It seemed I didn't really have a place here. But I needed to find one. I needed to make an organization. I needed to make something of myself. As I was going around, I would find a club where people did fun things, fun adult things. As everyone was going in there, I figured I would take it over. After all, it didn't seem like it was run by anyone big. I simply walked in. The bouncer said, "Who are you?" I simply said, "I am the one who takes what I want." As suddenly, I would light him on fire. As he would scream in pain, he would simply run away. As I walked into the club, everyone looked around. As suddenly, bodyguards showed up.
As they started to surround me, they looked like wolves. As they started to growl, their big teeth showed as they charged at me and started to hit me with brass knuckles. But these knuckles had special angelic powers. As it started to hurt me, I ended up getting angry as I looked at them all. "Do you know who I am? I'm now the new ruler of this place. You all will bow before me." As I hit the ground, fire unleashed across the entire room, causing them to fall down and burn. As I heard their whimpers, as suddenly a giant dinosaur girl began to walk out. It was Miss Zilly, the dinosaur demon. As she looked at me, she began to laugh. "So you're some big shot here to take things over. Do you honestly think you can defeat me?" "Oh, please. I think you need to get out of here. You may have fire, but fire doesn't affect me that much. My scales are too strong. I have scales below this fur."
as I would say, "You talk too much," as I would blow fire at her. As the fire began to engulf every inch of her, she simply ran towards me and punched me, sending me flying out of the wall. As I got up, she began to laugh. "Is that all you got? Oh, please." She ran at me at all fours and began to bite me, as blood began to fall through my body. I didn't even know how that was possible, since I am literally made out of fire. I had to do something quick. Then I had an idea. An idea I learned a long time ago. I remember she said her scales are too strong on the outside. A long time ago when I was working with my pals, my, associates, I learned sometimes you have to take someone down from the inside. So I did what I had to. I formed my entire body into a single flang and went straight through her mouth. As suddenly I began to burn up her insides. As she began to scream out in pain and agony, eventually I'd burn her from the inside. Of course, I didn't use any angelic weapons, so she would be reincarnated, but I didn't know about that. As I did it, I won, and I walked in there and all the bodyguards bowed. As I said, all her things belong to me now. As I then took over all the nightclubs and party districts from that place. It was nice, and it was weird having bootleg and be legal now. Of course, I opened up a few just facilities, since they're legal, and tried to sell them out. But even though they're popular where I was, a lot of hard stuff was more popular, if you catch my drift. As I was becoming quite influential, I knew that I couldn't last like this forever. I was making too many enemies. I needed to make a powerful ally. So I decided to call up Camilla Carmine. As me and her began to speak to each other, she didn't really like me. She didn't really like how I was new, and I just rose up the ranks, and I just took it, without any respect or anything like that. She had no time for that, but I needed her protection. I needed to help her out. And I looked at her and said, "I'm powerful, we can help each other. And if we're together, you can stop me from doing anything crazy." She sighed and said, I guess you're right. Listen. I will help you out, but no more stealing territory from overlords. If you want to take new territory, you have to earn it, or try to find some land after the next extermination. None of this grab it and take it. Miss Zilla is still mad about that. Miss Zilla. Where I've heard that before. The name sounds familiar. Oh well, I don't think that movie came out yet. Camilla Carmine said, "Did you really just break the fourth wall for a dumb pun?" Yeah? This is why I don't like you. Anyway, I had to practically beg her not to tear you apart. And the only reason I don't want you torn apart is because you made a big wave, and you're starting to get lots of influence. If you get destroyed, a lot of people will fight for the influence, and it wouldn't go really well. Besides, if you work with me, no more of that, got it? No more of this chaos. I would agree and shake her hand. However, I didn't really mean it. Even when I was alive, I was always wanting to be on top, and I was so close. I was a Don's right-hand man, but then I lost it. I lost everything. Everything I had. Everything I worked for. Everything I earned. Just gone like that. For no reason. All of it. Every single thing I worked for. Every single thing I've earned. Just gone like that. And now I'm here. But now I have powers. And now I won't let that happen. And I will take over this place. I will take over this city. No matter any means necessary. But first I have to play nice. As I shook my head and nodded in agreement, I then began to shake Camilla Carmine's hand. It seemed like this alliance began. However, I had plans to backstab her and plans to take over the city myself. But that would have to wait for a later time. Now I need to build up my forces. Now I need to look further ahead. And now I need to plan how to survive this extermination. Because I can feel that it won't be quite so easy. And that is where we're going to leave things off. This is my first Hazbin Hotel series. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. And I hope you're having an amazing day. And I really don't know where to go from here. All this was kind of improvised. This is why I didn't really do a Hazbin Hotel series for a very, very long time. Because, well, I would have to improvise it and make stuff up. But I think this did pretty well for a first episode. You know, too bad I had to stretch it out to reach 10 minutes with a thank you.
I wonder how many people watch these. Comment down if you're watching the thank you right now. Comment you're welcome. If you're watching the thank you, please comment down you're welcome. It would mean the world to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, love you all. See you later. Peace out.